Okay, so we are going to get up and get our acceleration here. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over a 2022 Ram 3500 Bighorn single cab. This is an extremely rare truck. First and foremost, a huge shout out and thank you to the Large Miller Dodge Ram here in Sandy for giving me some time with this truck. Check out the inventory in the description down below. Let's hop right into the video. Under the hood of this particular truck, we have the 6.7 liter Cummins that goes through a 6-speed automatic transmission known as the 68 RFE. This one has 850 pound-feet of torque and then 370 horsepower, which is still pretty crazy for a truck that only has 2 doors. Now let's go over the front end of this Bighorn 3500. So we still get the normal 3500 heavy duty badge right there. This one has the cab lights at the very top. And then you guys can see down below, we've got the halogen bulbs. We've got the fog lights right here, parking sensors on the front end. We've got the tow hooks, chrome bumper, and then you guys can see the whole chrome grille with the blacked out portion for most of the grille itself. And yeah, it looks normal from a front end perspective. Now coming around the side here, we've got two 75mm tires wrapped around 18-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. And then you guys can see here with the design on the wheels, this went for a chrome wheel, which matches the bumpers and everything else with the truck. And then here's a quick look at the front suspension, shocks, all that fun stuff. And then you can see we've got the Cummins badge here on the side. We've got the Ram logo, and well, here is the single cabness of the truck. It's super interesting. This is the first one I've ever seen in person, and I mean it's pretty small. I mean, you guys can see like there's a 1500 series truck, and just like the size comparison with the single cab. Anyways, popping here into the rear, since this is a 3500, you still get the beefy leaf springs. Now here's our key fob. We have the unlock, the lock, the remote start, the Ram logo there on the back, and we have a pretty astounding payload capacity of 4,424 pounds here in the back of the truck. And then you guys can see this one has a liner already from the factory. We have the full power outlet as well. And then this does have an 8-foot bed, so plenty of storage space here in the bed area of the truck. And then lifting up the tailgate, pretty easy. Now finishing things up here in the rear, you guys can see we've got the LED taillights here in the back. You've got your Bighorn, your Ram, your 4x4 badge, all that fun stuff. Chrome bumpers here along the bottom, and then you've got the parking sensors at the very bottom with the receiver hitch there in the center portion. And yeah, there's your rear end. So here's a door panel in the front, and you guys will notice you just have this random blank space, and it's because this has larger doors than a 4-door Ram, and so you just kind of have this extra space because the door's bigger. But I mean, it does have a little storage pocket on it, so it's not completely useless. And then going from that to the actual like door panel portion, I guess you guys can see you've got the normal Bighorn stuff here with the padding and stitching, all that fun stuff. We got our window controls, and you guys can see the mirrors on the truck, that fun stuff. And then here are the seats. So you guys can see really nice cloth seats that come with the Bighorn package. They are power adjustable. You can see the pedal layout just down below. And then you've got this for the outlets there on the back. And then you've got the light controls here with the fog lights and then the cargo light. The steering wheel is manually adjustable. And then you guys could also see the pedal adjustment right there. But let's pop in. Now here is the steering wheel with this Ram 3500. So you guys can see you've got stitching here in the center portion, nice leather all around. We have our voice command, phone controls for the center stack, gear limiter. We have our cruise control. Yes, this does in fact have adaptive cruise control. Radio controls are on the back. We have our turn signal / windshield wiper stock. And then we have the column shifter for that 6-speed automatic. And that's all for the steering wheel. Now here is the center gauge cluster. You guys can see you've got the analog gauges on either side for the RPM and for the speed, and then you can see you've got regular screens here in the center to give you different bits of vehicle information, fuel economy, all that kind of stuff. So nothing's really been changed with that. Center stack looks the same. Now here in the center, first off, we're going to pop it into reverse. You've got a backup camera with trajectory lines that do turn with the steering wheel, and then we have the zoom in function here with that. And also note that there is little button there for the backup camera, which is pretty interesting. Anyways, as for the infotainment system itself, you can see response time with the screen is fantastic. This is the newer version of the screen that's been released for the 2022 model year. And overall, it functions great. It's easy to use. Response time's cool, great. And also, there's a charging port at the top, and that's all. Now down below here, we've got our analog controls here for the infotainment system, and then you've got this for the lane departure, and then the stability control, heated seats for the, well, you only have front seats, so heated seats here. We've got a heated steering wheel, single zone climate. I mean, it's really small trucks, you don't need dual zone. And then you guys can see you've got your parking sensors, tow haul, diesel exhaust, trailer brake controls, and then Bighorn there on the glove box, and it still does have the dual glove box situation there. And then you guys can see here we've got the bench seat configuration. So you've got this kind of doubles as a center console, you've got the seat, and then there is under seat storage on top of that. And this truck's been equipped with the camera mirror, which you guys know I'm still a fan of it, so it's cool that it has that. Also, the rear window is manually operable because it's literally right next to you, so there's no point in, I mean, it still would be cool if it was power, but there's also not a point. So here's our window sticker for this 3500 Bighorn single cab. So feel free to freeze a frame if you want to read all of the standard equipment rather, and then the options on this truck. But you guys can see the base price $45,000, and then we have the options here with this particular truck, and this one's pretty fully loaded. Protection group, so it's got the skid plates, all that fun stuff. But you guys can see after all options, $65,525. I think this is single-handedly the most expensive single cab truck ever sold. Let's take it out and see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. As you can see, visibility of the hood, both of the mirrors, and again, this has a trailer mirrors, and throughout the rest of the rear. So weird. Let's set off. Okay, so setting off here in the single cabin. This is a super unique experience. It has literally been years since I have driven just a single cab truck in general, let alone a diesel. I don't know if I've ever driven a single cab diesel before, actually. I can't think of it off the top of my mind. Yeah, this is a unique experience. This reminds me of the time that I got to drive like one of the last manual transmission Ram 3500s. I had a customer that special ordered one from the factory, and we wanted it right away, and the shipping yard was taking forever, and so the customer requested for me to drive it to the dealership, and so I drove it from the shipping yard to the dealership. And yeah, that was literally like, I think in Utah at least, that was like the last ever manual transmission diesel truck ever sold. So pretty unique experience, and this kind of reminds me of that because this is just such a rare truck. I mean, I've been filming these videos for so long and I never see single cabs. Anyways, how does it drive? Let's talk about that. So first off, it feels like a 3500. It doesn't feel any smoother, any rougher. Actually, you do get a little bit more. Yeah, having just being shorter, yeah, especially going over this road, yeah, I can feel it now. Yeah, definitely, it's rougher. It's rougher than a full four-door truck. So we do have that. Wow, this is quite bumpy. Yeah, you definitely want to get this loaded up. It's like, you guys have probably seen the GoPro. It's just like a bouncy castle in here almost. But it feels so small. It's so weird. Usually heavy-duty trucks have this kind of, you know, large, almost cumbersome feel, and this doesn't. It feels tiny, and the braking is so much better because you have less weight to stop. Yeah, this is such a weird, it's such a weird experience for me. Yeah, it's definitely rougher. Obviously, if you have this loaded up, that smooths things out. That's just most trucks with leaf springs, especially heavy duty trucks with leaf springs. When they're not loaded up, they just, yeah, they definitely ride rough. And then in terms of like the seat comfort, just like any other Bighorn, it's super comfortable. Yeah, no complaints with that. It's nicely bolstered. Yeah, it's solid. Yeah, torque's great and everything. Okay, so we are going to get up and get our acceleration here. Torquey, definitely solid. Also, there's a person that pulled up behind me and just started honking like crazy because I had a red light. It's like, and their license plate's crooked. That person needs to calm down. Yeah, this doesn't necessarily, I mean, it's less weight to move, so it should feel faster, but it feels, I don't know, it doesn't necessarily feel faster, but it just feels more effortless is a better way to put it. with the acceleration with this truck. So yeah, I guess we got to sum things up here with the single cab. Exterior wise, it's a Bighorn, looks like a Bighorn. The single cab definitely looks unique. It's different. That's all I got to say is, like, when you see this, you know that you're just like, this is an interesting looking truck. That's for sure. Doesn't look bad or anything like that. Interior wise, I mean, it's nice. I think it's funny that they have like the door panel extended because this has bigger doors. So I think it's kind of funny they just have this random extension. It's different. And then driving wise, it does ride rougher than a 4-door. Acceleration feels pretty much the same. And yeah, so why would you even get a single cab? Obviously, if you don't need to take people around, then you'd save like a little bit of money on a single cab. But I mean, this is still $65,000 with the options this has. And then, you know, it has a higher payload capacity, and then you have the bigger bed, so it's a little bit more practical, right? And the small, so like you basically get more bed, you get really good bed storage, but you don't have the super long length that you have with like a 4-door with a long bed. So that's kind of the appeal to this. So this is like a great work truck. And this is a nice spec because it's you could still daily drive this, but then also it can do work truck stuff. So that's where that's the appeal of this truck, but it's interesting. Now let's get some things up for our video on this 2022 Ram 3500 single cab. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Dodge Ram here in Sandy for giving me some time with this truck. Check the inventory in the description down below. I will see all of you in that next video.